Hello, this is Feminine Features. The main purpose of this show is to discuss chick flicks. I'm Anne Sully Sullivan.
I'm Jenna Morrissey.
And I'm Windsor Jewell.
And this week we are joined by a very special guest, my friend and cinemaphile, Rowan Hellwich. How are you?
Hello. I'm well. I'm so excited to be here and to meet two people I've heard so much about, but have yet to put like voices to the faces and the names.
And right back at you.
Exactly.
This week we saw The Women, the 1939 original, not the 2008 remake. In order for you to enjoy and understand this podcast, we recommend that you watch before listening. But if you haven't, here's Jenna with some background and a brief synopsis.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jenna.
Yes, this week we did The Women, which is a 1939 MGM film based on the play of the same name.
Woo.
Yes, I'm very interested in this play. Why is no one putting it on anymore?
I
since
think there
2002.
I mean, there's a lot of like really cheapo Broadway plays they made into movies in that time period. And I think The Women is one still kind of regularly put on. The impact of this movie.
They revived it in 2001. Did you look at the cast for that?
I did not. Who's in it?
Jennifer Coolidge plays Edith. Cynthia Nixon played Mary. And Jennifer Tilly played Crystal Allen.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Sounds like good.
Yeah.
Like a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should do it again and not change the cast.
I like the like Broadway Airhead adaptation of Women.
No.
It's really good.
All right. So this movie was directed by George Cukor, who we have seen before with what movie?
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady, of course. How could I forget?
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the screenplay is by Anita Luce and Jane Murfin.
Sorry. I need
Funny names.
I need a loose woman to come over here.
There we go.
I saw that in the...
It could be Luce.
I was hoping somebody would bring that up because that made me laugh.
Made me laugh
Anita
as well.
Loos. So it's either loose or like lose.
Mhm.
Sounds like loose to me.
Sounds like loose. So this movie stars, we have Norma Shearer as Mary Haynes, Joan Crawford as Crystal Allen,
Woo.
Rosalind Russell as Sylvia Fowler, Mary Boland as the Countess or Flora. I just call her Flora in the summary.
Sure.
Mhm.
Then we have Paulette Goddard as Miriam Aarons, Phyllis Pova as Edith Potter, Joan Fontaine as Peggy Day, Virginia Weidler as Little Mary Haynes.
Woo.
She's our main character's daughter.
Back from the Philadelphia story.
Yes.
Yeah, same girl. And then we have Lucille Watson as Mrs. Moorhead, who is Mary's mother. So, our summary. Mary Haynes has been happily married to Stephen Haynes for, I believe they say 10 years. Can we get a fact check on that? Does anyone know? AKA Rowan?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I thought they said 10 years at one point. So we're going with 10 years.
Based on Little Mary's age, sounds good to me.
Right? It
Yeah.
makes sense.
And they
Yeah.
seem 30s-ish.
Yeah.
Still pretty young.
Yeah. So when Steven's cousin Sylvia is at the salon, the manicurist lets slip that Steven has been cheating on Mary with the perfume counter girl, Crystal Allen. And Sylvia tells all of their friends except for Mary. And then she sets up an appointment for Mary to go to said manicurist. And she obviously lets it slip to her too. But Mary does not tell her friends that she knows what's going on right away. But she does tell her mother, who basically tells her to get over it because every man cheats.
Yeah. That's how the movie opens on the topic.
Yeah. Yep. And Mary decides to play nice until she ends up running into Crystal after a beautiful Technicolor fashion show. Beautiful, beautiful sequence. And their confrontation ends up making the papers. And Mary decides to divorce Stephen, and she heads off to Reno to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes the train to Reno, and that's where she meets Flora, Miriam, and her friend Peggy from home, who ran to catch the train after she got in a fight with her husband that she wanted to buy a car, and he wouldn't let her because he can't afford a car. Whatever. Men never change.
It's incredible how incredibly ahead of this time this movie can be, right next to the most sexist thing you can imagine.
Yeah. So everyone is going to Reno because you only have to reside there for 6 weeks in order to file a no-fault divorce, which is something I had to Google because I did not know.
This movie harkens back to a time when it was like really hard to get divorced, and it was something rich women would do.
Yeah. And they were all like, I was like, well, obviously we're going to Reno to get the divorce, but I didn't understand the reasoning behind that, so I had to look it up.
Yeah, I was totally sidelined. I was like, this
do
is
we
really
want
fun.
our divorce trivia question?
Oh,
Sure.
give us one.
Do we want
Rowan
Since
has
we're on
prepared his
it,
trivia questions.
which was the specifically on the history of divorce in the United States? What state was the last state to adopt no-fault divorce?
Alabama.
Mississippi.
Mm-mm.
Utah.
Nope.
Not Utah.
I hate to inform you three. New York.
New York.
Oh,
I gotta get out of here.
And guess what year they adopted it?
Oh my god.
Oh God, what?
Oh,
2015.
like my grandparents got divorced.
You're
in
close.
1978.
But there was
I'm
faults there, wasn't
close.
there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2016.
What year is it?
2010.
2010.
That's the year
Oh
my parents
God.
got divorced.
Damn.
Hell yeah. Maybe that's why, if it was in the state of New York, it was a lot easier for them.
That is so funny.
Oh, that is so true, actually. I do have family members that
Like,
have
the laws were a lot
difficulty
more
getting divorce.
Wow. Huh.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, it is just hard to get a divorce in New York.
Yeah. All right. Well,
New York
moving
has
on.
historically
Relevant.
always had the strictest divorce laws.
Yeah, it's like a problem in a number of people I know's lives.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I'm like, that's so crazy. There's so many divorced people in New York.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to be mutual. Otherwise, it can be a real
Yeah,
slog.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
on this trip, Flora, the Countess, starts talking to a local cowboy. What's his name? Buck something or
Buck?
other. It's Buck something.
She has like a double last
Yeah,
name.
it's a W.
Buck Williams?
Something like that.
Buck
I'm sorry,
Miller?
I didn't write it down because he's not actually in the
He's
cast.
off screen. We're not supposed to remember the names of any men in this movie.
Right.
And the fact that we remember Stephen Haynes is frankly a bad thing.
Yeah. Because there are, in fact, no men in this movie, which
Hell
is awesome.
Mhm.
So then they're in Reno, and Sylvia arrives after a few days to also divorce her husband. But she learns when she's there that Miriam is the reason. This woman who is also in Reno to get a divorce from her husband has been cheating on her husband with Sylvia's husband. And then Sylvia freaks the absolute fuck out, and this is the end of her friendship with Mary.
Just because Mary was already friends with that girl.
Yeah.
Like no, it's not like Mary got a choice to defend Sylvia or not. She was just like, you mother. And she went for it. It's like
She
a violent
went for
sequence.
it. Yeah. When I say freaks the fuck out,
Yeah.
like I'm not exaggerating. She freaks the fuck out.
Action choreography.
There's some biting.
Yeah.
She goes full on a calf.
She licks her lips before she does it.
It's
too.
awesome. It's a really good sequence.
That is beautiful. So then we jump 2 years ahead and we see Crystal in her elaborate bathroom, in her elaborate bathtub. And she's on the phone with Flora's cowboy, who is now a radio star. And little Mary overhears her on the phone with this guy. And Sylvia ends up picking up the line and hears who it is. And little Mary reports all of this back to her mother because she goes to visit her dad, who now lives with Crystal. And Mary ends up going out that night basically to confront them. So then we're in the lounge at this nightclub, and I'm only calling it a lounge and a nightclub because that's what Wikipedia called it. I thought they were just like in a bathroom at a restaurant. So that's on me. But Mary waits for Sylvia and Crystal to arrive, and when they do, Mary and her friends start their scheme of having them overhear fake gossip to lure them in to get the real gossip, which they then tell to the gossip columnist who is in attendance. they during all of this, they like lock Sylvia in a closet, and this guy Buck is there, and like him and Flora break up, and then Flora's like sobbing. And Crystal resigns to being the perfume girl, and Mary gets her husband back.
Yep.
And that's the movie.
Which is her goal.
Which is her goal.
And she says, I forget my pride on her way to...
Mm-hmm.
It's a emotionally activating sequence.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah, so what a great film.
Yeah.
You know, the lack of men in this movie, I think, indicates that this is a movie about the damage women inflict on each other through gossip, perhaps. At the very beginning, one of Mary's friends says to Sylvia, "You just can't bear Mary's happiness, can you, Sylvia? It gets you down." And it's like, yeah, she's a real busybody, I would say.
Yeah, and actively hostile to everybody around her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she claims, "I never breathe about my friends' husbands." That's what she says, even though she's constantly gossiping about her friends' husbands. But you know, I think you know, she says this when she's asked if she's going to tell Mary about Stephen cheating. And it's like, okay, so you are clearly not using gossip for like the sake of sharing info or like warning your good friends. You're like doing it to be nasty because you think it's like fun.
Yeah, that's why she didn't go to Mary with the information that she was being cheated on. She told everyone else first and like set up a scheme for her to find out.
Yeah.
And that's her cousin.
That's
Yeah. She did that for fun.
She did that for fun.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. At one point they say a woman's paradise is always a fool's paradise. Oh. But I thought that was a good line just because it like, yeah, it like, you know, I think this movie's pretty anti-gossip. I'm often pro-gossip.
Aren't we all?
But I kind of liked that line just because it was like, yeah, like information is power, and these women are using it to steal each other's husbands to like get back at each other, this and this and that. Awesome. But like that's not how Sylvia is using it, you know, and like she's just using it to be mean. And then Mary's mom tells her this story isn't new. It's happened to most wives. Wow. Dark. Yeah. But again, it's like, okay, here's another way where like gossip can be used as like for commiseration. You know, you're sharing your story of being cheated on. Someone could share theirs, but instead it's like it is seen as this terrible thing that happened to you and like a shameful thing, being cheated on.
I feel like she does find community with the women she meets on the train and in Reno. And like we see later that she has them over for dinner once a year, just to swap stories. And her mother is like disgusted by these women. She's like, I don't know how you can stand them, but she's like, no, these are my gals who I can stand once a year, you know?
And they're all, gosh, like they're so much better than Sylvia.
So much better than
so
Sylvia.
much better. But Sylvia's so entertaining. She brings a lot of color into your life, you know?
She certainly was. I mean, well, what is it? Rosalind? The actress.
Rosalind Russell.
We saw her in some movie over Thanksgiving.
And
when
I was watching TCM for 40
Was it His Girl
hours.
Friday?
It wasn't that one.
Okay. That's such a good movie.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, I love this actress. And then she's so hateful in this movie. Like, it's so hard to like her.
But it's an incredible performance.
Oh, yeah, she's great. I can't believe how much I hated her, but like based on how much I wanted to like her going in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me a while to remember that she was the villain because I was like, I love her so much and she's so fun to watch on screen and she's so like bitchy and expressive and like magnetic. And then halfway through I was like, oh fuck, I'm not supposed to like her. She is the villain. But like I have been convincing myself that she's actually like the friend, a good friend, because I love her.
Yeah.
There's a few moments where you read a very friendly vibe and then the movie ends up having the two women be a lot more antagonistic to each other than you assumed. in a kind of pitting women against each other as a habit kind of way.
Yeah. Mary's mother even says, "Don't confide in your girlfriends."
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is tough.
It's tough, but if you can't trust your husband and you can't trust your girlfriends, who can you trust?
I guess your mother.
I guess, but
I mean, it points to the inherent issues that like this movie is anti-gossip because it's something women do, not because it's a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And because it's something that women do to like protect one another too. Yes. Like had she gone, her friends would have probably convinced her to leave him, which the whole ending of the movie kind of ruins it a little bit for me because I'm like, fuck, you could have gone and had this like it wouldn't have been as liberated because it was 1939, but like an interesting life free of this man who you've like admitted you've broken trust with and you're going to be miserable with no matter what. And then you just run into his arms at the end. And all of these other women would have just told you to leave him. And that's another reason why like gossip gets so vilified is because it is how women share information and protect one another. And so this movie is like both very like pro divorce and liberation in certain ways and very anti in others that I'm so curious about like who made it, like, or what was the market motive behind making it and like what decisions they made, if that makes sense.
It's very Hollywood in that it explores the topic, and the fact that it explores it is revolutionary and is seen as like a very liberal moment. But the actual content has to maintain such a status quo that it has to end almost. It has to be able to argue that it's either pro-divorce simply because it's talking about it realistically, but just has to end anti-divorce as a concept in order to maintain this like neutral politicality in 1939 America. So it ends up being like deeply offensive with how it treats how the women interact in this movie, because it's like in the end a bad thing because she gets back with the husband.
Sure, I don't know if I would call it deeply offensive.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you're still able to watch and enjoy the movie.
100%, but the ending does make my stomach sink.
Yeah, when that happened, I was surprised. I was like, I mean, yeah, it's 1939, I guess, but like we just went through this whole thing.
Yeah.
2 years have gone by.
Yes.
Yeah.
You spent 6 weeks in Reno.
You found community with the women in Reno and built a stronger, better life that you're proud of.
But also in Reno, she almost got back with him.
Yeah.
Because he called and she was ready to be like, oh, you know, I'm ready to work it out. And that's when he said he was getting married. Yeah. And that's, I think, when she was like, oh, okay.
I love that he planned his like wedding for the morning the divorce papers were going to be finalized. Like it was the same day.
So like, funny.
Ooh.
So fucking.
I'm sure that was Crystal's idea. But.
Yeah. That bitch.
Yeah. If we know anything about the men in this universe, is they have nothing, they do nothing, they are nothing.
They are nothing.
They're actually truly nothing in this film because of all the animals as well. Every single animal on set was also female.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So really, truly committed to that. Oh, I have a question about the second one since we're kind of like, no, we're not on the topic, but the second one, I'm curious, what is the conflict? Like, is it the same? Does she get divorced or is the plot kind of modernized in any way?
You know, I was just telling Jenna, I cannot recall it even a little bit.
We were quite drunk at a girls' night watching The Women 2008.
Yeah.
So I was watching this movie and I was like, oh, this is just like The Women, or at least what I can remember of it. They do the whole manicurist thing. Okay. And that's like the main thing I remember.
The one big modern twist that I remember is there's a lesbian in it.
Oh.
So there's that.
Oh, wait, who's the lesbian?
Daughter? No, it's Jada Pinkett Smith who plays like the you know what is it, the old maid in this? That's like the Jada Pinkett Smith
Peggy?
character, I believe. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with her. She's so good.
Yeah, I really don't remember much of it. But I finished this last night and I was like, I want to watch The Women 2008, but I had to watch Tall Girl 2 instead.
We all got problems.
We'll get into that next week, guys. Or last week.
Last week. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, what I think we find in a lot of these chick flicks is that even when these films intend to be sexist and intend to paint women in a certain way, they kind of like the truth is still there.
The women shine through.
The women shine through.
Yes.
And so like, you know, this movie can like look like it's anti-gossip, but it's like also, you know, we do see how like gossip affects their lives and like could positively, like depending on how you look at it. You know, it's like gossip is just, you know, it's just women talking, really.
This was nothing like women talking, Sully.
But yeah, her mom at one point, okay, like when she's asking her mom like what she should do, so then she's like, her mom's like, don't talk to your girlfriends about this. And it's like, yeah, you could be getting advice from your girlfriends, but instead we're like looking down on that for some reason. And I do think that advice coming from an older generation, even though she is like the voice of reason in this film, is like maybe does point on like where the future of like how we view gossip is going. You know?
100%. And she is just so conservative, the mom, in that sequence. There, you can't help but feel like an audience is supposed to believe that maybe she's going a little too far.
Yeah.
And that she should talk to her friends about it.
Yeah.
You know? So it is trying to lean that way.
Yeah. I love the scene when the maids are talking about what's going on.
That is good.
I was just thinking about that scene because that's another good gossip scene too, where at the end you're sort of given this montage and then at the end she's like, I need to know if I have a job in the morning. Get back up there.
Yeah.
And that's important information. Like it's the future of her employment rests on what she gets from this gossip.
Of course. Gossip doesn't stop at work.
Oh no.
It's very important to gossip.
That's in many places where it starts.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, I think that like even that's like kind of a good scene because they're like so light, like they're not malicious in the same way Sylvia's like taking like, oh, like shit, like, oh my gosh, my friend's husband's cheating on her. Like they're like just like, then she said that and they're like, oh, good for her, you know. And so I think there is like this thing that's like gossip for entertainment's also kind of okay sometimes.
It is storytelling.
It's storytelling.
And a lot of Sylvia's issue is her exaggeration.
Yes.
And that's where we get into the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like the gossip columnist who is saying that
She
Crystal was attacked.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
It said the headline was, I wrote this down. This is one of the only things I wrote down because I was like, that's crazy when they just pan to the newspaper. And the headline says, wife KO's love thief.
Yes.
KOs.
So good. Love thief too.
Love the-
Yeah.
And it's the front page is the only thing on that page. There's also no article. It just says that.
Yeah. Of the newspaper.
Yeah.
The daily newspaper she gets at her bed.
Do you think it was a slow news day in 1939?
I certainly hope it was.
I thought it was.
That was September 1st. Hitler had just invaded Poland.
Oh my god.
And that was all they had to talk about.
Wife KO's love thief.
I did think it was specifically
Hitler
the
invades
gossip pages because you see the maids like flipping through the whole newspaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay, so this scene with the maids talking was so great because like you said, they're not exaggerating. In fact, they're trying their best to quote like as close to the fight as what's happening. And so one of the maids says he blames the whole thing on her girlfriends for spilling it all. And I think that's where we kind of get to the root of like when gossip does go too far and like what actually is bad about it. And it's like turning these personal matters public, you know, and it's specifically selling out your friends to the gossip magazine. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then they have like this whole conversation about pride. There's a lot of themes about pride that come after that. They say Reno's full of women who have their pride. Which is,
And they say it's such a line that's like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, all they have is their stupid little pride. It's like, and you could just like translate pride to like happiness.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
freedom,
they're so
like, are all
freaking
these-
sure of themselves.
and they're all eye rolling about it. And you're
Yeah.
like, I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when little Mary gets into bed, she says, which is most important, mother, truth or honor? Oh, interesting.
And mom says they're
both.
equally important.
I'm pretty happy with where they land on Little Mary. I was really scared she was going to get even more mom and dad got to stay together.
Sure, yeah. Well, she
Her
accepted
crash out.
Yeah, she crashes out pretty hard, but then after that, she's like, "Yeah, I'm on board. It's been 2 years," and I really appreciate that she's not like still like a child's innocent cannot be touched by divorce.
Well, I think
Right.
she
You know?
hates Crystal.
Right, but she does hate Crystal, but she's
Yeah.
being polite about it because her mom told her to. I really like that sequence.
Me too. Oh yeah, that whole scene
Yeah.
with her in the bathroom with Crystal was hilarious.
I like that this movie, despite all of its conservativeness, still gets to like the reality of divorced kids. A little bit, you know, at such an early time.
And I'm like, the evil stepmom trope goes back to like Cinderella.
Of course, but usually with the dead mother.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of fun to see it with two living people.
Yeah, and like the dynamic between your mom and the stepmom. I like
that. But yeah, they end the movie. She says, "No pride at all. That's a luxury a woman in love can't afford." Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, once we start getting pride and image involved, like we get away from this fight of my husband is cheating on me, and we start entering the fight of everyone knows my husband is making a fool out of me, and that's like much harder to resolve. It's not like a fight between two people. And yeah, it leads to and what this movie is saying is that it leads to an unnecessary divorce, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's so weird for the movie to make itself less interesting at the end.
Yes. Well,
it's like I don't know. The gossiping of the women is not why they got divorced. You know, they got divorced because he was cheating on her.
Yeah.
Right.
And the movie, I think.
I mean,
and she was so hurt by that, and she only like didn't do it because everyone around her was saying not to. And then when it came out, I guess was when she did. So I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, she was ready to sort of like take her mother's advice and just, well, she thought she had him, right? When she was like, actually, I think I'm gonna go to Canada for like a weekend. And he was like, wait a minute, my wife's leaving.
Yeah.
But then it like just kind of snowballed. I don't know. It like there was a lot about getting other people involved in your fights.
Yes.
So it's hard to say what exactly would have happened, but I don't know. I think that's kind of what the movie was getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely way more interesting when it's just a story about a woman getting divorced.
Yeah.
Than it is once it's about somebody getting remarried.
Yeah. That's what
it couldn't be the women if it was like, let's reconcile our marriage, and now this movie is about how we rebuild trust over time. It would be
right.
I don't know what that happened. I was gonna say Marriage Story, but they don't reconcile.
No,
it's complicated.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
They get back together at the end.
That is one of my favorite rom-coms. I love that movie.
We loved doing that one.
That was a good one.
And it's just it's like a forced trope at this point. It happens in the Philadelphia Story too. It's like a Hollywood Hays Code type of thing. So it's so interesting to be able to reflect on that entire trope now in new type of remarriage movies. It's like there's a lot to play with historically in our structure of films related to that quite specific experience. But not fully discussed in this particular film.
Yeah.
To my liking.
Sure. That's everything I have on themes. What do you have, Rowan?
Oh, I think you kind of covered my themes. I feel like most of what I wrote down were just like fun facts and funny things I researched about the movie.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
And like issues I had with the movie. I just want to give a shout out to Joan Crawford in this film. Some of her lines were like the bitchiest things I've ever heard, and I'm obsessed with them.
Oh, yeah.
And I shouldn't say I wasn't sold on it, but I was intrigued by how she exited the film, where she just sort of accepted her fate and moved on. And based on what we'd seen from her so far, I'm not super convinced that that's how Crystal Allen would maybe react. I feel like she'd have more of a Sylvia reaction and like fight somebody. But she just kind of took it on the chin, put her fur coat on, and walked out of the bathroom door.
I feel like it's because she knows she could just go and do it again to someone else's husband.
It was
true.
Like, that's how I took it. You know, I'll just go back to the perfume counter and keep selling your husband's perfume.
She took
True.
money
This
and
is
ran.
fair.
Yeah.
She's got those eyes that go up and down a man like a searchlight. Is that what the line
Yep.
was? Which I love. This movie was so interesting to me because I remember watching it when I was a kid with my mom, and we laughed so hard and we were so obsessed with it. And I remember having that kind of sinking feeling at the end of being like, ooh, Eve, like at 10 years old, I don't like the way this movie ended. As also a child of divorce, but I don't think I ever wanted my parents to get back together. So it wasn't going to like fulfill a fantasy for me. But just thinking like, oh, she's around all these fascinating, vibrant women, yet they do keep Mary so other from them in so many ways, like in the way she dresses, in the way she speaks, in her actions. She is very like the Madonna to everybody else's whore, which I thought was really interesting in the movie. And she's so charming, but that kind of internal struggle she has of if she's going to leave and like strike out on her own, but knowing that she's really kind of, in so many ways for her, this was just a tantrum. I don't love using that word, but she was always going to get back together with him. She knew that, he knew that. She was never going to have like this feminist awakening that I was craving for her to have through the whole
She had
film.
a point to make.
She's so close too.
Yeah. Yeah. And even like she says at one point, she was like, we're equals, mother. And I was like, ooh, it's 1939. You're super duper not. But
I'm
but
like,
her,
you can vote, but
Well, it's like the stated goal of feminism directly at the opening of the movie. It's definitely a world where you can see it going in that direction, but they can't or don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, her life is. We don't really see that much of her single life, so we don't know the ways in which it is harder. We can like speculate, but she seems equally as happy with Stephen as without. And so I also kind of like that, even though a lot of the movement of the film is directed by the action of these men that we don't see, in so many ways they are obsolete to the story, which I love. I was like, whether or not this movie was about them, it doesn't really matter. Like what they did doesn't really matter to where this movie goes, in my opinion. And the fashion show, I just think I've thought about the fashion show so much. I would like to go back to the very beginning of the film. In the title credits, it's a costume designed by Adrian, which really piqued my interest because I was like, okay, mononym.
Yeah.
I looked into him, Adrian Adolf Greenberg, so unfortunate middle name, but he was born well before World War II started.
It is currently 1939.
The Greenberg makes me think he wasn't allied with the other guy. Yeah.
And so can't do anything about that. Good thing he just went by Adrian. But he was an incredibly prolific costume designer at the time, and he designed the costumes for The Wizard of Oz and is responsible for, oh my God, what is her name? Dorothy's ruby red slippers. I hate The Wizard of Oz, so I have tried to forget most of it.
Funny.
Yeah. You hate The Wizard of Oz? Sorry, we can't get into this.
No, we can't. I could go on and on about why I hate The Wizard of Oz.
Die-hard Wizard of Oz fan. I gotta tell you, the costuming, suddenly that does make sense. You can see definitely a similarity between a lot of those costumes and the kind of inventiveness that we see in the fashion show here.
Yeah.
Yes, and that like fashion and textiles are so like historically prescribed as women's work and to women, and so even though it sort of fit in between this very like women be shopping moment in the movie, it's such an ode to the craftsmanship and the fashion and having it colorized, like really being able to appreciate these pieces of art. I thought that was very like revolutionary in some ways and also very capitalist in another, because it is also trying to sell us this luxurious lifestyle that is so unattainable for so many women at that time. But it was so special to see those outfits in color for me.
Yeah. When she said that dress was $275, I was like, in 1939?
Yeah,
literally.
I can't afford that now.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. Like I bought like a nice dress for your birthday party a couple weeks ago. And I mean, I got it on super sale. I got it for $40. It was from Anthropology originally. The tag's at $168. That's still not $275.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love
I
that
got
they
a
were all
prom
in their.
dress for less than that.
Oh yeah, for certain. I just love that they were all in their private dressing rooms, and then the model would come through. That was really special for me. And then I think it was like a sleeping something, and at the end she kept saying, "And no bones," and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad we're not in an era where my clothing it's like exceptional that it doesn't have bones in it." That's amazing.
No bones.
I would
That
love
made me
that
laugh so hard.
job to just walk around modeling the clothes in store.
Half of why I like watching old movies is seeing jobs people don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I worked retail in high school for a bit, and I like asked on my first day, I was like, do I have to wear the clothes that you guys sell? And they were like, what are you talking about? No. And I was like, I guess I just never thought about it before. But then there are stores like, well, I guess like Abercrombie and like Hollister, that was like a big thing in the 2000s actually. So I take it all back.
A lawsuit.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing about
class
that.
action lawsuit.
American Apparel too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I take it back. That was still a job at least 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah.
They were recruiting like high school boys to just walk around shirtless wearing their jeans in the mall.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Every once in a while you'd be accosted by a group of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No bones.
You could smell them coming with the fucking Abercrombie cologne.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about what the movie meant to us. For me, I loved that there were no men in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was iconic. So, years ago, like 2 years ago,
Probably, yeah.
about 2 years ago for Galentine's Day, me and Jenna and our good friend Dylan were gonna get together, and Sarah. Oh no, she was mostly studying, but she was there.
She was there, but yeah, she was studying.
Yeah.
in
In her room, doctor school, med school, doctor school. But when we came up with this idea for Galentine's Day, like what we were gonna do, Dylan was like, we have to watch the women. There's no men in this movie. And so we were like, okay, yeah, let's watch it. As I mentioned, I do not remember almost like anything at all from the women, but me and Jenna both on Letterboxd gave it 5 stars. So we loved it.
The remake.
The 2008 remake.
And I wasn't logged out of my Letterboxd at that point.
I guess
One of you's got to tell me what the last movie I logged on Letterboxd is, because it's been years.
But yeah, that was just a nice night. I remember making my bean salsa that it's my recipe, and Dylan stole the recipe from me. And cutting up vegetables and just having a nice Galentine's Day and smoking and drinking and forgetting what happens in the 2008 remake of The Women.
Yeah, I only remember the women being on the TV and sitting on the floor and drinking wine from that night. I really don't remember anything else.
Yeah, me too.
And the thing is, I don't think I got that drunk. I just think this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think
really
so
remember.
too. Yeah. I really the very first scene when they're in the salon and they're talking so fast and there's so many conversations happening, I loved that. And it reminded me of this time back when I first lived in New York City and I was participating in eavesdropping, as many New Yorkers do. And me and my boyfriend at the time were sitting on the subway platform, and there were 2 girls sitting. They were like in high school, and they were sitting next to us and they were just chit-chatting. And they were talking really fast, and then they got on the train, and me and my boyfriend were waiting for a different train, and he goes, I didn't understand anything of what they were saying, and I said, I understood everything. And that's why we broke up.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love the way women communicate, and I feel very sorry for those who can't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I have. Rowan, what did this movie mean to you?
This movie, what did it mean to me? For me, it's just like how funny women are and how like dynamic and engaging they are, and kind of re-exploring movies that I watched as a kid that I really loved, that when I think about them, I'm like, oh, those old Turner classics are probably not as fun as I thought they were, as fun as I had watching them with my mom when I was a kid. So going back to it kind of brought a little bit of that spark back of like, ooh, these movies are so amazing. There's so much that I can go back into. And for me, I think one of the other things that it meant was like the craftsmanship that was put into it in this world where we're like going more into AI and we're seeing that more in production too, looking at the sets that were built for this, the costumes that were built, the attention to detail that was put into this movie was really incredible and special for me. And it made me just want to go back and rewatch all of them. And celebrating watching movies with my mom when like the first time that we started getting along when I was like probably 10 or so. We like didn't get along, and then we discovered that we both really loved watching older movies together, and this was one that we really, really loved, and we would quote it all the time. My mom would always like come into there and be like l'amour, and like be really dramatic. And so it just like, yeah, it was very warm for me in that way. Yeah, and the clothes, I feel like that is just, I'm always going to come back to it. The clothes in this film were amazing. And the facial expressions. I loved how much face we saw moving. Faces aging, moving, real people's faces, real teeth. Even though they're very smoothed by the silver screen, we still got a lot. So it was like very rich in that way for me.
Yeah.
I'll go. I also just had written The Women 2008. Yeah. We kind of covered that. But yeah, watching this, I really enjoyed it. Kind of the same thing you just said, Rowan. I thought it was fucking beautiful. Like, it just looked so good. And it was so crisp, too, you know? I think they said TCM remastered it or whatever. But I have a qualm with TCM because according to the Wikipedia, where they're listing off all of the animals that the women are portrayed as in the beginning, it says TCM.com incorrectly identifies the leopard as a lion and the fox as a wolf. I watched this without Windsor last night, but then he started it again and I caught the beginning and I was like, that is so clearly a fox.
Yes.
What fucking idiot at Turner Classic Movies.
Hopefully
messed that one up.
We can report this, and whoever's job it is to write down the openings of movies is open, and I can do that.
And that is important for the characters, though, too, because those animals kind of represent part of their personality. And the fox and the wolf are very, very different.
A leopard and a lion, different. Yes. So I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, I know we get into the critics after this, but I watched the movie and then I skimmed the Wikipedia page, get the basics of the production and whatnot, and it seemed like everyone fucking hated the Technicolor fashion show, and by everyone I mean the male critics, who one of them wrote, and I'm sorry I don't have the quote pulled up, I won't be able to find it, but he was like, yeah, all the women like this, but who cares? It's like, what is wrong with you? Did we just watch the same movie?
I could have watched an hour of that fashion show.
I would have watched an hour of that fashion show, and that, like, reading that on the Wikipedia page had me being like, this is not for you. It is a chick flick.
Yeah.
And then that had me just like Googling what was the first chick flick. And, obviously you're not going to get a straight answer there.
We've covered this. It's Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, because that's the first one that they used the term chick flick for. Yeah. But again, I'm sorry to keep bringing up fucking Wikipedia.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir.
Hey,
I love Wikipedia.
On the chick flick Wikipedia page, the oldest movie they list in their list of examples is Little Women 1933. Huh. And I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's got woman in the title.
Directed by George Cukor.
Yeah, that too. And the three most recent movies in reverse order were Barbie, Turning Red, and what? Say it with me. Tall Girl.
Wait, I just Tall Girl. All good movies.
And that's what this movie meant to me.
Yeah.
Windsor? Sorry, I just so maxed out the audio. I'm so sorry.
I really liked this movie. I had never seen it before. I had it's definitely like a classic of the American Hollywood system. It is, revolutionary and unique. The fact that it's only women, and it's not only women on screen because they do have a little vacation video, but only women on set, only like women actors paid to be in the movie. And it creates so many unique scenarios, which it must have for the play as well. And I really like how it ends up crossing class barriers a lot because it's focusing on just women from all different walks of life. These places that are without men. A lot of the maid characters get names and scenes, some of which are pretty darn racist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, but are, active characters, some of which aren't that racist. Big W in 1939.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are the maid characters who I love. And it's this like, because we don't want to depict the husband, we need to have this fight occur in some other scenario. And so we get this opportunity to, show these characters we wouldn't normally show. We had these unique characters that come from this, like the woman owning the ranch house in Reno.
Yeah, loved her.
Running it, this kind of fun character, and also is like a hard as nails character.
Won't stop singing.
Won't stop singing and is like not that, like she doesn't get involved in the fight or anything. She's just like that. Also, crazy sad scene when she talks about her marriage. When she describes getting beat.
Yeah.
All the time.
Abused, yeah.
Yeah. And that's played for laughs.
Yes.
So, it's 1939 was a long time ago. Pretty sexist country, but because of the limitation placed on this movie, it's allowed to do a lot of incredibly unique things you don't see for a long time.
Yeah.
After this. And I love it for that reason, Sometimes you want to be radical in your diversity just to see what you turn up. And it's unfortunate this movie wasn't seen as a bigger hit, one to be imitated, but it did end up being very influential, and when revisited was, inspiration for later films.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right. Let's hear what the critics thought. We have The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw. This is a 2018 review. He said, "It's an elegant whirl of moneyed and married Manhattan women." Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Crystal Allen, superbly played by Joan Crawford.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
That's also what this movie means to me. Joan Crawford fucking kills it.
Yeah, she's so good.
Murder with a glance. And her just like switching between, and she has like such a pattern. She's moving so fast. And the code switching between polite high society to streetwise counter girl is just like, both personalities are so extreme. The performances are so physical for both. And she switches on a dime. It's incredible. One of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
When we finished the movie, Amazon was like, "Oh, so you want to watch Mommy Dearest?"
I was like, absolutely. It's not offensive anyway. I mean, everybody involved is dead. Let's just throw it on. They're both good movies.
All right. Peter Bradshaw said, "There's a great performance from Butterfly McQueen as the store attendant Lulu." Okay.
Oh,
Glad she's getting
Butterfly McQueen.
Oh my
her
god.
name.
Butterfly McQueen plays the most cartoonish of the slaves in the film Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. Oh.
And is a famous stand-in in like Malcolm X's work for like a racist caricature.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Great name. Great name. Sorry.
No,
But I had no idea who that was.
Anyway, yeah, the performance is great. She's really good. This does happen also kind of be racist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Peter says, "But the very fact of excluding men from the action feels radical, and it is performed with brilliant wit and terrific physical comedy."
Correct, Peter. You're not pissing me off yet.
Yeah. He said it's exhilaratingly funny.
Yes, Peter.
Yes, Peter.
It is when it's old enough, he knows he has to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a review from Talk Film Society, Sarah Jane. This is a 2019 review. I didn't do any reviews from the time. I could not find any except for one from the New York Times, and we are boycotting them.
Oh, and I think that's the one I was referring to that
Probably.
they mentioned on Wikipedia.
Yeah, well, we'll never know.
I guess not.
Anyway, Sarah Jane says the ending for me felt wrong because what it showed me was that women are nothing without a man, that women need men in their lives. Yes, I knew the movie was of another time, but still, it just didn't sit right.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of our takeaway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who wrote that review?
This is Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane. I thought you said Erica Jane, and I was like, the housewife wrote this review. Okay.
Nope.
We only get our reviews from the Housewives and Peter
Yeah.
Bradshaw.
Well, I
Peter
mean,
Bradshaw's
Jennifer
a
Tilly
Bravo,
is in the revival on Broadway, so it does exist within the Bravo housewife universe.
Exactly.
And I mean, like, I'm sorry, who better to play these characters?
Literally.
This is just the Housewives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a show I watched. My stepsister's really into it, but I bet if I watched it, what this movie meant to me would have been, this is just like the Housewives.
As someone who does watch Bravo, I didn't feel that way about the movie.
No.
I was like, this is so much better, and this is better for society.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I'm not tapped into the Bravo verse, you know?
Mm. Well, if you want to get plugged in, you know where to find me. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Door's always open.
It is. We love accepting new members.
All right. Sarah Jane says Rosalind Russell and Joan Crawford are especially terrific here. Russell proves she doesn't need Cary Grant to play off of. She is able to hold her own and then some. Crawford's crystal is mad, bad, and dangerous to know, and she excels at it.
Dangerous
It
to
is
know.
exciting every single time she's on screen.
Yeah.
That's what our
It
friends say
is.
about us.
Yeah.
We're dangerous to know.
We are.
Well, yeah.
And they use her so sparingly. She's only probably in like 20, 25 minutes of the movie. And it
Yeah.
is electric when she walks in. Like,
I think one of my favorite lines in any movie ever after rewatching this is when she and Mary are in the dressing room after Mary confronts her. And Mary says something to her about her outfit being not to Steven's tastes. And she looks at her and she goes, well, if anything I'm wearing isn't to Steven's taste, I take it off. It's like, oh my God, it's so good. And the way she says it, and there's like so much like sex and venom like coming
Yes.
out of those words. And I was like, nobody does it better than you.
yes.
She's
And she does it.
she's perfect.
Yeah.
She's quick
Yes.
and like lying on a dime and making it seem fun and dangerous and exciting.
Whoa.
And she's so, I think, not to like take us back to what we were talking the earlier conversation, but part of like how it's portraying women or what it's missing about women is how like engaged this woman is and how bored she is with her lot in life. So she's just creating all these problems for other people. Like she even says it at one point. She throws something across the room and she goes, oh, I'm bored. So, like that's why she's doing this, because she's like stuck in this situation, and truly the only way she can find mobility is through marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I mean, I don't know what profession we maybe want her in. Maybe we do want her to just stay in retail. She might cause a lot of problems for the world, but
I think all of these women could be gossip columnists.
they should be. Sorry, not to
Get in the
derail us.
dirt.
That's just started thinking about Joan Crawford and I couldn't stop.
Of course.
How can you not?
All right. Sarah Jane says Little Mary, Virginia Wielder, in a wonderful performance.
Yes.
She's one of my favorites. Her performance in the Philadelphia Story is one of my all-time acting roles.
Yeah. I mean, she crashed out hard. She was really giving it her all.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy that scene. I don't like child actors. It was so
Well,
like, ugh.
she's like, oh yeah, me neither. I'm famously anti-child acting.
Yeah.
Legally. And it is so weird. She's like way too old to be as ignorant about divorce as she is.
Well, if it's not, you know,
But it's just like not
an
in the culture,
accepted
right?
thing,
Yeah.
you know, and I liked that scene because it felt very real, you
Yeah?
know, like it was, you know, she cried about it, and then 2 years later she was over it and didn't care.
I did like it when we came back. I did like it. I like the rest of her performance, but that scene is definitely,
Yeah,
intense.
you know,
That's fair. She did the correct thing, which was process her emotions instead of what all the
Yeah.
other women in this film are doing, which is bottling them up.
Making a joke about it that kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You're a kid. You're gonna cry when your parents get divorced, and then it's gonna happen anyway. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the performance is good. It's just like it's a very like ABCs to the audience. All right, folks, here's what a divorce is like.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure. All right. Sarah Jane says, here are genuine moments of tenderness. Here as well are near slapstick levels of comedy. The only questionable moment for me is the 6-minute fashion show shot in Technicolor in the middle of the film. Yes, it's fabulous looking, but honestly, it brings the movie to a complete halt.
Who fucking cares? It is so beautiful to look at.
I'm going to buy a gun for the next person who says that.
I literally was watching the movie. It turned to color and I went, whoa, hello.
I think that's what people
crazy.
miss. People are like, color's so normal. I think you got to watch it as much TCM as I've subjected you people to be like, oh my God, color.
Yeah, literally.
You know, and it is like so nothing any other movie ever did. And it is just like, I watched the whole thing mouth agape. And then on top of that, it's incredibly executed on these beautiful sets.
And it was just so gorgeous. And that's what I was like, you know, nowadays we have the marker for a chick flick being a makeover scene. I was like, in 1939, it's a 6-minute Technicolor fashion show.
And it's also like, just like from like a media level, like how women are portrayed. It condenses like all of magazine culture, all of like fashion culture into this like single diluted 6-minute nonstop production of what opulence looks like in the minds of 1939 audiences.
And it wasn't a fashion show in the way we think of it, where they're walking down the runway, turning around and walking back. It was they specifically said, we will be showing you what you will be doing in these outfits.
Yeah.
And they showed like 2 women pretending to throw food into a cage at the zoo, you know? Like,
with the "Don't feed the monkeys" sign on
right
it.
there.
What was that about? That was so silly.
Like little vignettes.
Yeah.
No one's ever listened to signage.
I loved the cow at the wedding. They were like, and now here's our springtime wedding, and this cow that
And the cow
is a part of the wedding section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
It is so grand and so just this almost pure, and it is so unabashedly consumerist and maximalist that it is just this kind of pure understanding of what they thought people should look like in 1939.
Yeah.
And what women should dress like or could dress like. And it's a fascinating sequence no matter how you cut it.
I know, I was watching it and I was like, these clothes feel outdated.
Yeah. By 1939.
For 1939. I was like, I know what people were wearing by 1945. But a lot happened in those 6 years. Famously, a lot happened in those 6 years. So, maybe it's not as outdated as I think it is for 1939. Yeah. I wasn't there.
But I'm also like wonder, because there were so many Victorian influences in the clothing, and I'm really curious as to like what the other imagery around wealth and status was, like if it was kind of throwing back to this time in the Victorian age, and like if that image was really like re-penetrating society.
Yeah, they're trying,
because I felt that way too, that they were very modest and kind of dated silhouettes.
It looked very much like, and the only reason I know this is because I just directed Newsies Junior and I was looking at the costumes and stuff for like 1899, and it was very Edwardian back then. And so many of those looks looked very similar to what they showed in the fashion show. So I do think you're right that it's like calling back to like the time before the stock market crash.
And like even what the mother was wearing, like her outfits were pretty Victorian as well.
Yeah.
I think it's an aspect of old Hollywood and the fact that they were trying to kind of dress high class and older in most of what they were doing, especially by 1939. And then that just kind of disappears fairly quickly in the film industry.
Yeah.
And we start displaying people as they actually looked. But that's kind of limited at this point.
I was so high when I watched the first half of the movie that I didn't realize that the fashion show was different for a few minutes. I was like, what's going on? And then I realized the rest of the movie hadn't been in color.
It's like the
But it took me a minute to be like, what's different this time?
I just like 1 second of like, this hasn't been in color, has it? Like,
guys, that's like The Giver when he sees color for the first time in The Giver and he like doesn't know what's different, like he doesn't have the words to explain it. You got so high you were in The Giver.
That's what this movie means to me.
This is my own Giver.
I've never seen or read The Giver, so
It's good.
Don't bother. There's nothing to see. There's only to
We were
read.
so obsessed with that guy, Brendan, whatever his name, who is in The Giver, and we never went and saw it.
Brendan who?
The guy, he's this Australian actor. I don't even know.
Brendan Thwaites.
Brendan Thwaites.
That sounds familiar.
I made a bookmark of him and I found it recently, and it was pictures that I had printed off of him shirtless throwing rugby balls, and I cut them out and I made a bookmark and then I hid it.
Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
We gotta go see The Giver.
From what I hear, it's not worth it.
Okay, well, never mind.
You need to make them watch Slide.
Yeah, maybe I will. It's so good. Okay, one last quote from Sarah Jane. George Cukor was only able to make The Women because he was fired from directing Gone with the Wind, which brings us into our impact on the genre. Do we consider this a chick flick?
I watched it and was like, this is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of this as like the ultimate chick flick in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, not having men in this was so revolutionary.
Absolutely.
I mean, men really hate not seeing themselves on screen. They really would hate not seeing like them, like their stories or anything they could relate to in this movie. So yeah, I think it's really bold that this movie just was like, yeah, we're not gonna have any men, and they're gonna just have to deal with it. And you know, it could have potentially alienated half their audience, but it worked out, and they made the 2008 remake. This was based off a 1936 play. And then, as we mentioned, got a 2001 revival.
It also got a 1997. It was either 1979 or 1997. So it's had two revivals.
Okay.
But there wasn't really anything notable about the first revival.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, as you were saying, this is still relevant to today. Like, New York just made no fault divorce is legal. Like, that's crazy.
Yes,
16 years ago.
This is actively a problem in my life.
They're also trying to make no fault divorce illegal again.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, watch out for that. That's a huge problem.
That's a big problem.
Purely sexist political take.
Yeah, and with that, I think it's important to note that in the movie, all of the women that obtained divorces were really wealthy women.
Yes.
And so like Lucy, who lived on the ranch, I thought that we could kind of infer that the reason she wasn't divorced is not because she didn't want to, because she still lived in Reno. It would have been relatively easier for her. She couldn't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And so marriage if you don't have money, you'll be trapped in marriages, which is what the government wants, because then you can't do as much to resist the government. And that's what this movie actually means to me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's a perfect place to end it, unless anyone has anything else to say.
No.
I mean, all right.
I am looking over your shoulder and reading Mean Girls animal metaphor.
Okay. Roman had such a good point.
And I really
let's
gotta
just
hear.
close. Okay.
It was a great point.
I would like to hear that too.
End on it, but I gotta know.
Okay, so they have this thing at the beginning where they have the characters introduced, and they have their animals that are like the metaphor for how they act.
Right.
And it just brings me to in Mean Girls, where they have. She's like, it was just like the jungle. Like, all the girls were fighting around the water hole and stuff like that. And I just think that's interesting that we still have this like prevalent metaphor of like, oh, women are so catty, and like have these like animalistic metaphors to talk about them. So I don't know.
That's big in the they really lean into that in the musical in like a weird way too. Like, they'll be in the middle of a scene and one of the characters will just go like, caw, 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 caw. And it's like, okay.
Okay.
So they're still doing that.
Yeah.
It can be a way to dehumanize people, is to see them as animal-like.
Totally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My only point is that as a early chick flick, feels raw with limitless potential, and that's why it swings, I think, in these really radical directions.
Yeah.
They don't know where the limits are because no one's ever done anything like this.
Yeah.
And so it feels dripping with potential, as we have seen realized in the numerous chick flicks after.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Rowan. This was so
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
Thank
It was so
This is
nice
my
to
first podcast.
meet you.
Yes. Thank you so
So
much
nice
for
to meet you
picking this up.
too. Hopefully we meet in person one day, but who knows?
Oh, we will. Oh, we will.
It will happen.
Yeah, Annie has to get married. Duh.
No, that
Keep forgetting about that.
literally was what I
As-
was thinking.
As
Everybody's
soon as
working
possible.
on this. Everyone is working on this.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are. I am looking.
I mean,
Thank
I've seen
you.
the venue,
Thank
you know.
Oh, I've been sent pictures.
ASAP. I have December cleared.
December. You know I want to get married in February.
You're right. You're right. I got February cleared too.
During the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Oh, do you
don't
want
know.
to be the princess?
No, I just think it'll be something fun for people to do when they're visiting Minnesota.
Oh,
Movie, and we're gonna have so much fun when this happens.
This February.
yeah, we will. We'll see. I can't commit to the Winter Carnival right now, but I'll be at your wedding.
That's so fair. All right. Thank you
See
everyone
you
for
later.
listening. Thank you to Atlas Renee for art, Shishkin Productions, Brianna Harley for music. Next week we're watching A pesar que todo, despite everything. That's the English translation.
Oh, okay. Despite everything, we're
Despite-
doing that movie.
Yeah. Follow us on social media with TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Letterboxd at FemFeaturesPod. Bye.